Bam. Alrighty, and our last speaker of the evening, we've got the one, the only Jeremiah Higgins talking to you guys about closing power. Let's give it up for Jeremiah. Woo! Go get him.
All right, so Jacob told me to listen to Closing Power like a week into when I first started. And then he wanted me to listen to it again yesterday and today again. And I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was the concept of intentionality. But before I go to that, I want to talk about what closing actually means. Because to some people, they think closing only happens in the page where you like tell them, oh, the homemaker plus 8 is blah, 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 blah. Can I get that for you? But that's not really true. In my opinion, closing happens all the way until you like call them on the phone and you book the demo. Because the definition that he uses of what is closing is the process of building trust and giving permission. So that means it's like more than rapport because rapport is just getting the individual to like you. So it's like, yeah, I like you enough to set up this demo. I like you enough to listen to you for 45-ish minutes, but do I trust you enough to place this order with you? Secondly, trust also goes along with respect. So he mentions how just how you come dressed to the demos is very important. How you represent yourself, how you talk to them, and how you talk about your goals is especially important. Because again, if they don't respect you, then you can't expect them to buy from you and to get you what they need. Now, going to intentionality, we can see this all throughout the office. I mean, even just with Jacob, like setting the goals for the year, going to 24, 25, 26, stuff like that. That's very intentional. But when you're on your demos, you have to be intentional as well. So this starts from even making your names list, making sure that they're all homeowners over 30, stuff like that. But it can also come with the dialect and the things that you're saying in your demos. So, for example, he says that there are 4 reasons why you don't sell, and these all go back to intentionality. The first reason is that you're not committed to selling. So, when you're not committed to selling, this means that you're just going through the motions, you're just reading the script. There's very little to no energy that you're giving the customer. Secondly, he mentioned that the results are born from the intentions. So I know, like, when I call Michaela before a lot of my demos, she always asks me, like, what are you trying to sell them? Like, what are you going to give them today? And in the beginning, I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm going to give them a homemaker. Like, sure, that's what they want. That's what they need. But looking deeper into it, she asked that question. So I'm very intentional with my words and with my emotions when I'm talking about a certain piece. Thirdly, he mentions that results are a direct reflection of your effort. And this means how hard you try is how much money you're going to make. So again, this can go all the way back to the names list or just when you're calling people, how hard you try to make sure that they're all hitting the homeowner over 30, how hard you're doing and how hard you're going in these phone jams, stuff like that. That plays a really big part in your results as well. In his podcast or in his talk or whatever, he mentions the story about he told his roommate, he's like, yo, I'm gonna go out and get like $1,000 order size, whatever. And he was very intentional when he went out in his day during his demos to get that $1,000. Next, he was like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna go for $500, something like that. And then he did that as well. So that like lesson and that story can be used for us as well when we're like setting our demos throughout the week or even when we're just on our demo that day. So again, bringing it back to Michaela, ask yourself, what do you want to give this person today? What are you going to sell them? And I found out when I answered that question truthfully, not just like, oh, to get an answer out the way, that's what ended up happening.
Let's give it up for Jeremiah. Woo! Good sir.